Thanks, Admirable. I am here with Firebat, and I swear I saw Sol just 1 second ago on the desk. You just have the ability to teleport now.
Yeah, it was a tough one, but I managed to traverse the 7 meters between here and the casting desk. We did it.
Yeah, but we are coming now. I've come to the end of day 4, and we can check out the brackets and how the groups are shaping up, because this is swiftly going to come to a close of opening week, and we're going to decide the second 4 spots. So Group A, we obviously have Jason Joe, but today we have seen the handsome guy manage to beat out Tice in the first game of the day.
Yeah, Group B moving onwards. Obviously, Chionsu is waiting at BlizzCon for these players to fight it out to join him. And we saw Hamster bringing that Priest and Paladin. It paid off for him. Neyman was able to get his Warrior through, but couldn't finish out the series. He will now move on to face BB Gungun to decide another spot at BlizzCon.
And then we had Group C, where he had Yolsik overtake Breath. Now he has to get through Dr. Hippie to see if he can join Amnesiac at BlizzCon.
Yeah, and then finally rounding out the day with the series we just saw was Pavel versus Dione, and very convincing win for him. But we'll get more about that later as we can give you a bit more of a recap on the match by match. First series of the day, Sottle and myself did have the joy to cast that one. It was Handsome Guy versus Tice, and this was an incredibly tense series. 2 titans of Hearthstone going at it, and what happened overall, Sottle?
It was just, honestly, just a heartbreaker for me. This was a game where, I can talk about technical play and decisions and all that kind of stuff, but I've honestly never felt this emotional watching a game of Hearthstone, because Tice, genuinely one of the greatest people in the scene, one of the nicest guys you will ever meet, and his hard work came crashing down on him. He was hugely emotional afterwards, but talking about the positives, of course, Handsome Guy is the guy that's still kicking in the lower bracket now, but for Tice, the dream came to an end for this year at least.
Yeah, and fantastic run from Handsome Guy. He's been one of the most dominant players this year, and although he had the bit of a misstep on his first match versus Cydonia earlier in the group, he did manage to step it up and did just enough to beat Tice. Do you think his sheer experience will give him a really good chance going through Firebat?
Well, he has to take down Cydonia, which...
he had trouble with that earlier.
Yeah, he had a little bit of trouble before, so now it's kind of the redemption for Handsome Guy, and... I would say if I was in Handsome Guy's shoes, I'd be excited for another opportunity to try and take down someone that beat me, but at the same time, pretty nervous as the outcome last time was a bit scary, so it'll be interesting to see how he's able to manage it.
Yeah, well, let's hear his thoughts on the series he had today and what he thinks about his upcoming opponent in Cydonia, as well as Handsome Guy is with Frodan on the caster desk.
Handsome Guy, you have a lot of people paying attention to your match because you're playing against Tice. What were some of the moments that stuck out to you specifically about that series?
타이지 선수랑 많은 사람들이 그 매치를 기대했었는데 거기서 특별히 좀 인상 깊었던 순간이 있었나요?
경기 중에요? 뭐 어떻게 언제?
네네, 경기하면서.
특별히는 없었던 것 같은데 마지막에 뭐 이길 때 좀 기분 아슬아슬하게 이긴 것 같아서.
Not particularly, but on the last match, it was really close match, so that was very
exciting.
Yeah,
okay, of course. Here's some of the clips going through the last game when it came down to the Warrior versus the Zoo Warlock. Are you aware of how many people are paying attention to you from the West as well? People are looking at you mainly as the guy representing like Asia, because we don't really know much about Asian players.
사람들이 본인을 되게 어떻게 보면은 아시아의 대표로 이렇게 생각하고 있는데 그 점을 알고 계셨나요?
아무래도 그 아시아 에이펙 우승해서 그렇게 사람들이 생각하고 있는 것 같은데 뭐 꼭 저뿐만이 아니라 그래도 잘하는 선수들 좀 있어요. 그래도 네. 이번 올해는 제가 유난히 좀 에이펙에서 좋은 성적을 거둬서 좀 돋보이지 않았나 싶은데. 예.
It's probably because of my successes in Apex, but there are a lot of good other people in Asian region.
Oh, certainly. I apologize. I thought you had more to say. And then the last question I guess I had was, these guys were commenting on you playing against Cydonia. Do you feel like you have a better chance against him now that you've had that first series out of the way, or do you feel like this is going to be the same and hopefully you just come out on top this time?
사이도니아 선수하고 이제 다시 하셔야 되는데 이번에는 본인이 좀 더 유리하다고 생각하시나요? 아니면은 어떻게 될 것 같은가요?
뭐 일단 4대 0으로 졌었으니까 유리하다는 생각은 없고 그래도 첫 번째 경기보다는 더 치열하게 할 수 있을 것 같아요.
It was a 4-0 defeat, so I don't think I have an edge over his decks, but it will be better than the first match.
Oh, certainly hope so. All right, well, congratulations. You beat Tice, one of the strongest players in the West, and definitely no easy feat at all. With that, good luck tomorrow against Estonia. In the meantime, let's over back over to Raven.
Thanks a lot, Frodan. Definitely a series I'm looking forward to, the Sidonia versus Handsome Guy rematch. But we can talk about the second series of the day, which was Hamster versus Neyman. And Hamster, you know, the player who brought the unorthodox lineup, seemed to line up pretty well versus Neyman. But it was an extremely close series, Firebat.
Yeah, it was really a nail-biter. It started off to a rough start when the Priest was unable to finish against the Warrior, but Hamster able to pull it back. Here you see him getting the win with the Priest against the Tempo Mage. Not typically an area where you'd think Priest would excel, but able to get the job done.
Yeah, with the lineups being, you know, so really against Neyman in terms of that Warrior, how impactful to the series overall was that Warrior win? Because that was extremely well played from Neyman as well.
It was huge, yeah, and it should have potentially put Neyman in the driver's seat. I was talking to him about this matchup last night, and all he just kept coming back to is, I have the Warrior, I have the Warrior. How is the Warrior going to get through? And the answer to that question is, Neyman, you're just going to play really damn well, and you're just going to beat the Priest just by outplaying him straight up. And that's kind of what happened, and that should have put him in the driver's seat for the series, but Hamster was able to recover, squeeze through in, again, just a 4-3 nail-biter series.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to see how Hamster can take it. You know, with the lineup he brought, if he can take it even further and really secure his spot at BlizzCon to see if the players can change lists. So I'm really interested to see what he may or may not change to and see what comes out of Hamster there. But enough from us. Hamster himself is with Frodan at the caster desk.
All right, so I'm joined by Hamster, a player that's also caught a lot of the other player base's attention, primarily because of his ability to win with the Priest and the Paladin. I want to ask him, very honestly, did he feel like he was favored against Neyman, even though he brought the Warrior?
你真的觉得你对Neyman 这一战真的是你有优势吗？因为你带了战士的牌。
这个我觉得我卡组上确实应该是很大的优势，但是 Neyman 肯定是一个老玩家，因为他知道该怎么去应付这种劣势对局，把这种劣势转化成一种优势。因为他牧师打战士那一局，我觉得他打得特别好，他思路很明确，就是不下生物，然后跟你打疲劳，这让我一点办法都没有。
I did think that I did have a lot of advantages with my decks, but Neyman is definitely an intellectual player. So especially with the match between Priest and Warrior, it was really tough, and he played really smart. He wouldn't play any creatures and basically forced me to fatigue.
Yeah, this first game was crazy. I mean, did you have any thoughts? Did you expect him to play this way? Has anyone played this style against you before?
你有意想到他会这样打这副牌吗？
这个练习的时候我就已经想到了，但是确实没有什么特别好的应对的方法。
I did encounter this during practice, but I couldn't come up with any ways to counter it.
Oh, man. Well, Godspeed, man. You still brought the Priest. You realize that everyone loves you because you're bringing this deck.
你知道每个观众每个人都在为你加油，因为你带了这个牧师的卡来。
希望我没有让他们失望吧。
I hope I didn't let him down.
He definitely did not, man. You did yourself really proud. How do you feel your chances to advance from your group? You have to go up against BB Gun Gun.
那你觉得你明天对 BB 杠杠的挑战，在这一组里面，你觉得你会如何应战
？BB 杠杠的牌组简直就像是专门针对我的一样，可能是最难打的一局了吧。这个我觉得明天可能要花很多心思去决定排序，出场顺序。
So BB Gungan's decks are actually built really, really advantageous towards me. So tomorrow's match is going to be really difficult. I really have to take some time to think about what order I'm going to play my classes in.
Okay, all right. Well, good luck tomorrow. I know a lot of people are cheering for the good old Priest and Paladin. That wraps up our interview with Hamster. He's going to be playing BB Gun Gun tomorrow for Decider. Let's head over back to Raven, some further analysis.
Thanks a lot, Frodan. Definitely a lot of preparation required to go up against BB Gungun, but we did have the third series of the day, which was Yulsik versus Breath. And this was one that looked like Yulsik was going to run away with it, Firebat, but it got extremely close at the end with him having multiple tries with that Zoo deck and finally getting the win.
Yeah, as you said, he started off to a really solid lead, able to get up 3-1 against Breath. But Breath started bringing it back. Breath was able to get 2 wins against that Zoo deck from Yulsik. Thought it would have been a liability that might have ended up hurting him, but able to get it through on the final try and take the series over Breath.
Yeah, what did you think of Yulsik's play overall here, Sol? Because it's something that we've been brought up, the difference between his play at championships versus this tournament, where he seems to have really upped his game.
Yeah, I think he definitely played a lot more solid and has played a lot more solid throughout this championship as a whole. I don't think I'd put him up there, in the top echelon of play that we've seen so far. He definitely has another level that he'll need to strive towards to really match those guys, but definitely not a guy that I want to call out on making too many huge mistakes.
Yeah, I think, the big thing you mentioned there is might not be considered the best at the moment, but having huge steps from one tournament to another, when you show that kind of improvement over that short amount of time as well, it was only Summer Championship, that's actually a big deal for Yulsik there. But moving on to Series 4, which was Dione versus Pavel. And Sol, you had the joy of casting this one, and it wasn't the longest series of the day.
It was not, no. We were stood just off to the side of the desk before we went on, and I said to Dan, I just feel a 4-0. I don't know what it was. I just felt it coming, and it ended up. Pavel, he played great. He got a couple of lucky draws when he needed them. Everything really just lined up for him. He got the problematic deck that he needed to get through very early, and honestly just snowballed away. And personally, I'm sure you'll join me in a moment of celebration. It's about time EU caught a break in this tournament, right?
Yeah.
There you go.
Definitely.
The first EU player on the board now?
Dr. Hippie won?
I mean,
yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
You can't really argue a fact. I mean, well, he did win, but no, great play from Pavel. And I think as well, after his first performance, looked a little bit shaky at moments. Sure. This must work wonders for his confidence.
Yeah, there was a couple of moments where it looked like he was potentially getting a little bit carried away, started really rapid firing some of the turns, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. If that's what it takes to make you feel comfortable, then sure, go nuts, play fast as long as you're playing correctly. But maybe Pavel does just need to take a little look at himself in the mirror tonight, just tell himself just to slow down just that little bit, make sure he's really nailing everything down tomorrow.
Yeah, it did get pretty heated in that series, but to hear more from Pavel, we do have him with Frodan at the desk.
Pavel, do you think that's true? Do you think you play a little bit too fast sometimes?
I don't think that I play a little bit fast. I think I play my speed is enough to make a right decision, but I wasn't play the series perfectly. I think I make 2 mistakes in tempo match game when I decide to trade with other Drake. I should have just going face with my 4-2 minion make my bubbling book halfer and going face. Because I still had 1 Frostbolt in deck, 2 Fireballs. It was definitely better going face. Also, I make mistake with Rock against Tempo Mage. I should have played Coin just to make Edwin 10-10 instead of 8-8. And play around Ragnaros, also play around Fireball, Arcane Blast.
Yeah, for sure. That was definitely something that we thought about too. But it's really interesting that you said that you think you play fast enough, because I think a lot of people see how quickly you play there. So really interesting perspective. Against Dahyoni, it just felt like it was really one-sided. Did you feel like it was really easier and one-sided?
I mean, I get good draws, so yeah. And I queuing into good matchups.
Yeah, certainly, for sure. I think if we look at some of the footage, this last game, what did you think when he was playing Yogg-Saron like so early into the match? It felt like he was just kind of conceding at that point.
I think good Yogg-Saron is the only chance for him in situation which was in current stage of the game.
Yeah, you think you're just too far ahead that he just needed like Yogg-Saron to summon minions and destroy your board. All right, that's completely fair. It's something that we weren't really expecting that much. especially considering that it felt like he had a pretty big hand. But overall, a job well done. How do you feel about the fact that Europe hasn't been doing too well, but you've been able to survive?
Yeah, feeling good. I hope I will go to BlizzCon as a player and not as a guest.
Yeah, of course. I think everyone does for sure. And I think you've done really well, so you should be proud. Do you have any comments on your match tomorrow in Group D?
No, I will look at his decks, and so I'm not sure yet who is favorite.
Okay.
But I hope I will win.
Oh, probably you'll win. All right. Well, Omega Zero is a really tough opponent, but I'm sure you can pull it off. Congratulations, Pavel, on your victory.
Thank you.
That'll wrap up our interview. Let's head over back to Raven to wrap up the day and get ready for tomorrow.
Thanks a lot, Frodan. That is the 4 series of the day. I cannot wait till tomorrow. We can check out the brackets one more time just to give you a real view of what's going on. So Group A, Jason Joe is through, and the decider match tomorrow is going to be a rematch, Handsome Guy versus Sidonia. And I'm going to go against, with a prediction, at least a quick one, of what we saw in the first go at this. I think Handsome Guy's got what it takes to bring this one home.
Ooh, bold words. Damn, do we have to put ourselves on the line now?
Yeah.
Okay, Chansu in Group B is weighing in BlizzCon. Decider between BB Gun and Hamster, and if we're following the pattern here, I think BB Gun being one of the most impressive players through last call up until this period. I'm going to go for BB Gun.
And then we have Group C, Amnesiac already through, looking to try and join him, either Dr. Hippie or Yulsik fighting off in the decider. And although Yulsik has been impressive the past couple of days, I have to go with Dr. Hippie to be able to take this one and join Amnesiac.
We have not told Firebat to say that, just to confirm.
Correct
But
decision.
Group D, Hot Me Alf is your player who went through first in the group, and it is going to be Omega Zero versus Pavel for the decider match. And I've got everything on Pavel here. I think after that performance especially, he's got what it takes. But we will have all these matches coming up for you tomorrow. Let us know who you think is going to win all the matches, who's going to book their spots at BlizzCon. Tweet us at Play Hearthstone or check us out on Facebook. From myself, Sottle, Firebat, and all the other guys, thanks a lot for watching. We'll be back same time, same place tomorrow. We'll see you there.